Good evening, my kings, queens, and trolls of YouTube. This is your girl, Queen C, and I want to make a video today about Sams. Selfish ass motherfuckers. That's right, I call them Sams because they are just all over the place. Like, people are so disrespectful. Now, you know, there's such thing as etiquette. And people don't like to exercise that because they are too self-centered and self-serving, and they don't want to have respect for other people when it is in reference to their comfort. They rather do what they want to do to you because it's what they want to do. And your girl, Queen C, don't play that shit. Now, I had been sick, you know, I had some issues. And, you know, in that course of time, I had been MIA, getting my daughter ready for prom for the third time. My youngest one was going to a father-daughter dance. And then also, it was her 10th birthday, so I wanted to throw her a party. And I did. I sent out RSVPs. The first Sam, selfish ass motherfucker, was one of her classmates whose mom said that she could go but didn't want to call, text the RSVP. She told her daughter she could go. When I told my daughter to tell her mom that she has to call me or she can't come, the mom sent a message back to her child saying she don't call nobody. Okay, you don't call nobody and you don't bring nobody to my damn house. Plain and simple. Because if you don't want to get to know who I am and where your child is going to be staying, and I can't see who you are, so I know who to contact in case of an emergency, you ain't got to bring your damn child to my house. So I had to cut that invitation off. Anyway, my oldest daughter, she had a friend that she's been friends with from, I think, like 5th or 6th grade. And she has 2 nieces that my youngest daughter had went to pre-K with. And anyway, they were invited. They came last year. They had a princess tea party and slumber party, and it was so cute. So of course I wanted them to come again. So this year the theme was Frozen. I made these cute bags for the girls for overnight with their sponges, Frozen theme candies, and you know, Frozen theme lotion, body wash, perfume, and sponges and hair accessories, all that kind of stuff. And for my daughter and her friend, I made them cute bags. All the bags were personalized, and then I put Bath and Body Works in theirs and some e.l.f. makeup and some other little stuff, you know, just to say thank you for helping me out. Did the same thing last year. So, your girl Queen C was out there grilling. And while I was on the grill, I started to bring some food in. I had hot dogs, hamburgers, chicken, steak, y'all. It was something to be talked about. But anyway, I see this little girl standing with her hand on her hip, and I'm like, who the hell child is this with her hand on her hip? As soon as I walk in, she says to me, how come my name ain't on none of these bags? And I'm like, what? Who the hell are you? So I said to the little girl, I said, excuse me, but who are you and how did you get here? So she tells me what her name is, and she said her grandma brought her. She had the same name as the other little girl that I told my daughter she wasn't allowed to invite. So I'm thinking, oh, no. Let me get a phone number. So I follow the little girl, and I see her, you know, saying the same thing about her name not being on the bag, but she's talking to my daughter's friend. Once I realized that, I motioned for my daughter. I asked my daughter, what the hell's going on? So basically, my daughter tells me that her friend is embarrassed because her mom dropped an uninvited child off to my home, which was basically her other older niece, who's 12, and, you know, she just dropped her off. She didn't call me. She didn't text me. She didn't ask me. And I've known this girl's mom ever since they've been best friends because, you know, this girl's mom has, you know, contacted me. My daughter stayed over her house, vice versa. Her daughter's been in my home, ate my food, went on vacation with me, went different places with us. So I'm very familiar with this mom, and this mom has my number. So I couldn't understand why she would be so disrespectful and drop an uninvited child off at my house without asking me if it was okay, especially with me having plans for the next day. So either way, I told my daughter, I said, well, she can't stay here. I don't have enough bags for her. I can't accommodate her to go with us tomorrow, all that kind of stuff. You know, the 2 trucks are going to be full with the people that we already invited. You know, this is not going to work out. She needs to come get this child. So her friend calls her mom, tells her mom. Mom says she's going to come get her. Mom never comes. Little girl is being disrespectful. She's getting smart with other adults. She's cussing. She's throwing temper tantrums, storming up and down my steps when she's not getting her way, whatever the case may be. Now, mind you, my daughter and all her friends, everybody was 10 and under. So this girl's 12. And once I realized, you know, who she was, I was aware that this little girl has behavioral issues. She has torn up her grandmom's house. she don't listen to them over there. She's been disrespectful over there. She has done things to her aunt's room that my daughter has told me about. So I'm like, you know, not only does this mom just drop this kid off, this is a kid with behavioral issues. The next morning, I cook a huge breakfast, a bunch of pancakes, 20 sausages, a bunch of hash browns, all that kind of stuff. You know, I told my daughter I just want 2 sausages, and if she could bring it to me, because I was tired from all that cooking in the day before. So my daughter decides to bring, you know, me some food, but first she wanted to make sure what I wanted, because they were asking for more. So I told my daughter what I wanted. She went back downstairs. All the food was going out of my stove. My daughter tells me I come downstairs, and now I'm pissed off. Now, mind you, this girl did call her mom to tell her to come and pick this little girl up. The mom never called me to find out what the problem was, never texted me, never nothing. The girl keeps calling her mom, and the mom starts ignoring her phone calls. So this woman just basically abandoned this uninvited child at my home. So I go outside to find out who the hell and why the hell they would just take my food. The little girl is standing there with pancakes and hash browns around her feet. And I go out there and I say, who took my food? Everybody starts explaining, oh, well, she took it. She got up first and we wanted more and we told her to save her some. And she was like, no. And she started taking everything. So we got up because we wanted more food too. So I explained to them that it was very disrespectful and I don't tolerate people being in my home and disrespecting me, especially after I'm hospitable to them. I cook for them. I'm doing something nice for them, you know, and that's the way you repay me, is by being disrespectful in my home and stealing my food. You know, I don't play that. So I said, it's time for everybody to go home. So I came in the house and I told my daughter the same thing. I said, I told them it's time for everybody to start going home. This is going too far. Basically, the mom comes and picks up the girls and still never says nothing to me, never asks what's the problem, never apologizes, never nothing. So basically, as the other girls are getting ready, they're saying their candy bags are gone. I search. Basically, long story short, little girl stole their candy bags, found out that she stabbed up my daughter's Hello Kitty beanbag and pulled the stuffing out, which was a gift, and broke some of her toys, and, you know, just like some other shit. So then the little girl, my daughter told her friend called and asked about it, whatever. Then the little girl starts lying and saying that these little girls are texting her saying that's why they're going to Sky Zone and she's not, and all this other kind of foolishness, when I had made it very clear to them that they were not going to Sky Zone. So anyway, I told my daughter, I said, you know what, I'm very pissed off by this, and I'm going to have to address your friend's mom this time. Because there have been times where her friend's mom has done shit, and I didn't say nothing for the sake of their friendship. But this time, no, you're not going to ruin my plans for my baby girl's birthday and disrespect my house and think you're going to get away with it. Now, this girl, like I said, my daughter's monkey mouth friend has stayed in my home, ate my food, gone on vacation with us. And while on vacation, her mom took all her money out of the girl's debit account. So when she took all the money out of her account, this girl couldn't buy her food. She couldn't pay for her activities. She didn't have no money to do nothing. So here she is in another state with somebody's family with no money. So I had to carry her the rest of the vacation until we got back, and she was able to get money to pay me back. And, you know, it was a couple days, but it wasn't no problem because, like I said, you know, at that point, I liked this girl. So, anyway, when I sent her mom the message, I said, I didn't appreciate you dropping off an uninvited child to my home without asking me. I said, you were made aware that this child was acting up. You said you were coming to get her. You never did. And I think that that's very disrespectful. You never even reached out to me to find out what was going on. I would never do anything like that to you. And I said, you know, she stole the other girl's candy bag. She damaged my daughter's, beanbag chair and, you know, some of her toys, whatever. And I explained to this woman what went on. She tried to say that the little girl didn't do anything. I said, well, look, I don't allow thieves in my house and I don't allow disrespectful children in my house. You know, your daughter and the other 2 granddaughters are welcome at my home, but this little girl is not welcome at my home ever again. As long as you got that point, I didn't give a shit. Well, she was offended. And I could tell it could have escalated, but I wasn't even going to let it escalate, because as long as you understand, I appreciate what the fuck you did and it better not happen again, I'm cool. But she takes it to another level because she really does not want her daughter to have no friends. She's one of them moms that don't want her kids to have no friends. So she goes and she calls her daughter and tells her daughter. Now, what me and her talked about was between me and her. My daughter can't control what I say no more than her daughter can control the fact that she dropped off an uninvited child and abandoned her at my house knowing she had behavioral problems. So my daughter's friend, instead of sitting her fat ass down and staying in the child's place, she gonna start messaging my daughter, talking slick, talking about my bags is cheap and whatever. But I bet you her fat ass took one of those bags and she didn't say she didn't want it. She didn't have a problem when she was in my house, but she wanted to start some shit with my daughter. Then she took it to another level and took it to social media and started calling my daughter a bitch, which was totally unnecessary. So I got to see a side of this monkey face motherfucker that I never would have thought that I would see, you know, because I actually had cared about this girl. But at the end of the day, Queen C don't deal with disrespectful ass people. I didn't really appreciate that. So, you know, she told my daughter she wouldn't come back here, and that's fine because I don't own a zoo. I own a home. I don't own a zoo, so I don't need no zoo animals, monkeys at my house. I don't need monkeys in my home. But it's like, you know, I had to explain to my daughter, that's how you know. And thank God this was revealed to you now instead of later on down the line some other way. That's how you know that you don't have a friend, you have a frenemy. Because only a frenemy would do something like that. This girl knew her mom was a liar because the girl's mom called me up and was lying on her before about when they went on spring break. Had this girl's sister believing that her daughter lied to her and went gallivanting on spring break with boys, and told her that her daughter had said that I was taking them when the mom knew that she wasn't. She said that the little girl wasn't answering her phone and all, just telling a bunch of lies, and then gonna call me up and start telling me that her daughter is a liar and she's sneaky and all this other kind of stuff. So this girl knows that her mom got some shit with her, and there's other things that her mom did that I just chose not to address for the sake of my daughter and them's friendship. But you're not gonna take advantage of me or my home and do some shit that I don't like and think I'm not going to speak on it, because I'm a queen, and that's what queens do. We speak on shit. So I didn't care that her mom didn't like it, but I just thought that it was messed up that she pulled her daughter in it, and her daughter allowed herself to be pulled in it after she had been over my house so many times and I had been so nice to her. That was like real crazy to me. But either way, my whole point is, don't let people take advantage of you. Try to stay clear of Sams because they are all over and they are ignorant and disrespectful. And, you know, I want to hear your thoughts on this about RSVPing and, you know, friendships and all that kind of stuff, y'all. Talk to me. Email me at queenkrishonda@gmail.com. Don't forget to like my Facebook page, The Queen C's Hive. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, and peace from the Sea Hive, guys.